Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sanma Watches Hearts of Iron 4, and today we're gonna try watching a game of vanilla. Right, let's just go here, go to Bhutan, and we'll start. Of course, we've got historical mode off so that we, get surprised about what happens in the game, and we'll just see how things go. The Italians are doing terribly here in Somalia. They've already lost Jubaland. Come on, Mussolini, you don't want to die. The Prime Minister of Japan speaks out against the military. I think we might see... Oh! Is that a German civil war we have? So we've got Mackensen, which means Germany won't be fascist this time around. And Japan is democratic, but that means there might be an imperialist coup sometime in the future. So that's Germany and Japan going through a civil war. We have a Kingdom of Poland here. Oh, Hitler just painted his walls early, June 1936. The British seem to be going communist, and so are the Ethiopians. So if they survive any longer, there should be a peace between Italy and the Ethiopians, brokered of course by the Soviet Union. And that's it for Himmler. Munich has been captured. Now we've got an East India restoration. That is not good to look at. It's a hideous color. Nobody likes that. And there goes the fascists. The Nazis are out and in with Mackensen. Although we don't know whether Mackensen will go monarchist, communist, or democratic, constitutional monarchist. The communists are rising in Britain. I really hope the Soviet Union doesn't fall here, because then we might have a really powerful communist bloc in this game. Oh, would you look at that? We got a kingdom in Hungary. Horthy has just ended his regency. What's him? The old warden. And in Spain, the civil war has just started between Manuel Azana and his Republicans and Jose Sanjurjo, who just died on a plane. So it's now a military junta. The Ethiopians are holding out really well. Soon enough, they might get their peace deal, which should be here. And that's 1937. We just saw the fall of Hitler, the Spanish Civil War, and the rise of the East India Company. Some big changes in China. The Guangdong province has flipped towards the side of Nanjing, with Chiang Kai-shek in the lead. The Soviet Union has brokered the peace in Ethiopia, and now they're a puppet of the Soviet Union. Of course, listening to Moscow's orders in the Comintern, although in this time, Zinoviev would still be in the chair of the Comintern, right? So it's not exactly a Stalinist Comintern. Mussolini has sent his troops, and an unwilling diarchy has formed in the People's Republic, in the Soviet Republic of China, between, who is it? Mao and Zhang Guotao. Alright, so that's... Well, with Japan being democratic, there wouldn't be a Sino-Japanese war. So I guess that's a assured civil war in China. Although from what I've seen, Nanjing usually takes out everyone pretty easily without any war with Japan. I haven't seen any other case. Mexico has gone to a civil war with Cardenas going after Saturnino Cedillo. And a civil war had just erupted in Russia. Somebody formed a European pact. Oh, that's Stalin. Oh, the Comintern is no more, replaced by the European pact. And a Chinese United Front had just been formed between Yan Xishan and Chiang Kai-shek. Long Yun, the famous regionalist, has also joined the United Front. I guess there's gonna be a real effort here to unite China under Chiang Kai-shek. And would you look at that, the Germans had just gone socialist. Ernst Thälmann, famous German communist, has taken power. Famous German Stalinist too, at that. Soon enough, the communists will also take power in the UK. And I'm unsure where France might go this time around. Let's check. Also the Popular Front, although they might go communist or they stayed liberal. Xinjiang has gone to war with Khotanma and the Kumul Khanate. It's the Northwestern War. And the United Front have started probing the defenses of the Soviet Republic. A three-way civil war in Japan. So we've got Tokyo, led by the Democrats, the center, in Matsuyama, led by the communists, and the imperial faction of Tojo in Nagasaki will win out. My guess is on the communists. I don't think Tokyo will last that long isolated like this. Same with the imperialists down in Nagasaki. I think if the Chinese Soviet Republic were to team up with Zhang Zhuiliang... Oh, would you look at that? They won! That's all of Shaanxi now. They lost Taiyuan. That's actually huge for the unwilling diarchy. The Soviet Union is beginning to collapse with Armenia's revolt, and Spain has turned into a total slog, a four-way civil war. Republicans, nationals, and there goes the Soviet Union. With one communist power down, we've gained a new one. Two new ones. So we got Harry Pollitt and Ernst Thälmann leading the new communist bloc, while the provisional government is busy working in a restoration. And we've got a Japanese Communist Republic too. Japanese People's Republic. Longyun has been integrated into Nanjing's territory, and the junta is making gains in the Mexican Civil War. And there goes the Democrats in the Japanese Civil War. So now we've got a fully communist Japan. So now it's 1938, and the world inches ever closer to a world war, although with the Germans and British going communist, I'm not even sure if there will be a world war. It would be more like a world revolution, I guess, between the new communist entente of Japan, Germany, and Britain against the global reactionary forces of Russia and Poland and whoever else, the United States. Ooh, the fascists are rising in the Philippines, and so are they in China. Oh, the Tsardom of Bulgaria wants British protection. Imagine being the directors of East India right now, though. You're a corporation under a communist state. I don't know how that works. Australia has declared independence, so has South Africa and Canada. So I guess they've all left the Allies. Was communism not enticing for them? Turkey has also gone socialist, although Ismet Inonu, famous Kemalist, has stayed. And we've also got independent Taiwan here, Formosa, and Korea. It looks like Shaanxi has been completely overrun by Mengjiang and the Chinese Soviet Republic, and the Mexican junta have just won out in the Mexican Civil War. A new capital city has been declared, and despite the lack of German volunteers, nationalist Spain doesn't seem to be doing too badly. I mean, they have most of northern Spain. The communists are in the run, the Republicans too. Oh, but we have a communist Portugal here. The US have decided to go interventionist in this game under Alf Landon. Oh, and the Philippines have gone fascist. Not very good. The Hungarians have renounced the Trianon treaties. Guess they'll be holding to expand their territory now that the world order has been shattered. And Lithuania has turned into a kingdom, although that's two kingdoms then in Eastern Europe. I don't think they'll get along. Russia has proclaimed a new Tsar, Vladimir III. That is not Russia's flag. That's a naval insignia at best. And the Catholics have taken over in Mexico, so that was his plan. And Africa had just been decolonized by the British, so we've got new communist states now in each African country, while Poland and Lithuania have joined under an alliance, the Commonwealth Alliance. Alright, will we see a world war in September 1939? And if we do, who's gonna cause it? Probably the Russians. And the United States have decided no towards Philippine independence. That's the first war we've seen in a while. Wait, hold on. Belgium is at war with Spain? Over what? That's weird. Denmark and Iceland are at war. And Estonia is at war with Lithuania. Let's see, where's the American invasion? Spain had just lost, so are the communists. A North American Federation. Oh, that's the American alliance. Been restored. And the nationalists had just won in Spain. Peru and Ecuador went to war and they've ended. Ecuador's victory this time. Let's see, where's the American invading force? There it is. And the British Empire has fully decolonized. So we got an independent Malaya People's Republic. Oh no, the East India Company is going completely colonial in Asia. I think the British ought to do something about that. I mean, those are their... Well, no, they're still colonies. So we've got some independent communists down here. Like in Kenya and in Uganda. There it is. The Hungarian-Romanian War. It's gonna end as fast as the last one. Yeah, I don't think the Hungarians stood a chance. What were they hoping for? Dino Grandi has just overthrown Mussolini. And there it is. Hungary is no more. Good riddance. And it looks like the Polish have established dominance over the Baltics. And there's a new alliance here in Germany, the Proletarian International. And economic restructuring is happening in Russia. Iceland has joined the Northern Defense Force, which means Norway and Finland are at war with Denmark. The East India Company is going haywire on everyone. And they're dragging the British along. Is that... Oh, that's their private army. There it is, the end of the League of Nations. There's a big war in South America going on with Argentina and Uruguay, and the East India Company going crazy in Africa. I'm not even gonna comment on this. That's just silly. I hope they didn't declare war on Japan though. Or China. Switzerland is doing some crazy things here. I really don't like the East India Company path. It's very silly. It's very... I mean, I don't know. All these war goals. It's just for free. Oh, I just found out. Japan's at war with America. And it's not exactly clear where the war is. I guess Japan supports the Philippines. But where's the war? There's 10 divisions up here. Tefik Borja submits to Italy. Oh, there it is. Danziger War. And nobody's guaranteeing the Poles, so it will be just a German-Polish war. So let's check. No, yeah, Germany would win this. Full stop. That all's in here. Oh, and Russia wants to go westwards. No, that's just... And Mussolini was killed. There it is. Germany at war. And nobody's going after them. Here you go, Alt Hist. Danziger War. We just got a capitulation over there. No, I mean encirclement. Let's go. Ernst Thälmann versus Friedrich Christian. The British have announced a communist alternative. And everyone just decided to join it. Almost everyone. Oh, there it is. India and Britain are now at war. After all this silly stuff. There's a battle in the Suez Canal between the Egyptians and the Indians. And all of that had just been conquered. There it is. That's the new Eastern Europe borders. So here we go. We got 3 independent alliances. No, 4. Got the British Communist Alternative. Get the Proletarian International, And of course, the North American Federation. Oh, I think this will be the war between Germany and France. Britain goes after Czechoslovakia, which is guaranteed by France. Here we go. Who will win? France or Germany? Somehow I have my bets on France winning. Because I don't know if they have a around the Maginot focus. And they can't really take this guy out. Or he joins Germany. Communist Japan is acting like Imperial Japan. Somehow that's kind of funny. And the Japanese Navy is gone. Only 71 ships. I don't know when they lost it. There it is. Franco-German War. So the Czechs are pushing. The French are pushing. It's December 1940 and it's not looking good for Germany actually. What is this? That's an encirclement. They have no troops down here. What, is Russia gonna come in? They have a war goal. Ooh, yeah, no. They gotta cap the Czechs immediately. They'll lose. Come on, Britain, you need to save your ally. Maybe the Poles come to the rescue? Yeah, that's too bold. Gotta push them back. There it is. The Germans are pushing into Prague. They're holding out the French in the Rhine. And I think they might have capped the Czechs. No, just take Bratislava. Alright, it's January 1941. And Europe's war is in full swing. We've got a war between Portugal and Spain. With Portugal being protected by the Belgians. The Portuguese actually have a bigger army than Spain, funnily enough. And now the Germans have declared war on Italy. Dino Grande and Leon Blum. Two social democrats against Ernst Thälmann. I'm kidding. Alright, South Africa has now staked their claim in the World War. They want to spread apartheid now. No, apartheid isn't even here yet. Now the Finns, the North Defense League has declared war. Proletarian International now has a border with Italy down here in Hungary. And they turn their attention to France. China is actually making some big gains. And the Chinese Soviet Republic is making some big gains. And maybe they'll go after Beijing soon. There it is, yeah. They've struck against Beijing. But they're surrounded on all sides. I could see them losing all these wars. 62, 9, 19. Never mind, they kind of have it in the bag. Well, I wish them luck. India could barely beat Burma, so I don't get what they were going for with all this world conquest. There it is. Proletarian world versus the capitalist world. That's kind of funny. A war in Afghanistan. America is supporting Kabul, while the South is independent. Whoa, the unwilling diarchy is making some pretty good moves here. And Italy might actually push Germany out of Hungary. So the African front has been going pretty well for Pretoria. But I think they're coming across well-armed African divisions now. We got Ethiopia here. We got the British. Thank you, Burma. Wait, do they have war goal? They do have a war goal on me. Burma is making crazy offensives against India. That's actually insane. You know, I have this issue with the Hoi4 AI. How are they supposed to win all these wars? Like, frankly, they haven't even gone Korea, you know? And then they think they could get this? Come on. If I'm being honest though, these borders don't look so bad. I mean, as soon as Germany releases these guys, and as soon as this war ends, this is looking real good though for Burma. UNU versus the board of directors. The UK declares war on Italy. This might actually oh, gotta declare war down. Let's run away. I'm thinking Dominica. Alright, yeah, so the British are actually going real crazy with their decolonialism. That's Britain and Germany against all of Europe fighting together. Looks like the Portuguese have stalled out here in Spain. Oh, rip me. My old home. The British are at war with the Dutch, which means a naval war. The Dutch don't stand a chance. What I don't get is why don't the Germans and the British just join alliances? They'd be powerful together. Immediately, the Italians are invading Egypt. The Egyptians only have a token force over here. If these guys really wanted to, they could take all of Egypt and march south, connecting with Ethiopia. And the British blew up the Suez Canal. I guess. That doesn't really help them. Oh, there it is. Russia has entered the war. So we've got the Italian League, the North Defense Front, the Proletarian International, and the Russians. Russia and France not having alliances. And they decide to go to war with one another. Kind of funny. Kind of sad. I guess even the threat of communism isn't enough to tie these imperialists together. This might be the end of the Chinese Soviet Republic. Chiang Kai-shek's coming after you! No, unwilling diarchy! Save yourself! I just realized it's 1942 now. The world's looking very, very funny. And I just realized the Italian League has quite the shooters. They've got most of the Balkans actually. And there you go. Goodbye, Mao. Everyone's joining the Nanjing government. What about Zhang Zuiliang? Yeah, even he has. That's crazy. So I guess Nanjing wins? Question mark? France faces off a colonial revolt somewhere here. And the British have landed in Normandy. The Chinese Soviet Republic is in big trouble right now. And Russia has declared war on Turkey and Germany. That's the Eastern Front open now. Now the Portuguese are intervening in the Chinese Civil War to aid with Mao. And the Russians have joined the Italian League. The war in the Low Countries is getting very heated over here. Turkey's entry into the British alliance has actually saved them in the Middle East over here. Syria has been invaded by the Turks while they're holding out in the Caucasus Mountains. They did lose Istanbul though to the Bulgarians. Damascus is under siege now. Troops on all sides. Syria has capitulated. And France, I think, has just surrendered. There you go. France has just been annexed by the Germans, while the Italians have taken up the North African colonies. But that now opens up a major front between the British Communist Alternative and the Novus Imperium Romanum. Russia still can't invade Finland. Their life depended on it. But there is a major offensive down here in Lvov. Britain is now at war with America. The Japanese People's Union, Japanese People's Republic, has joined with Britain. Which now sets the world truly at war with one another. It's 1942, and the World War is in full swing. We've got the Communist Entente between Germany, Britain, and Japan against the Russian, Italian, and American allies. Meanwhile, a small war in Asia over here. The British have landed in Norway. And the communist alliances have joined with one another. One large proletarian alliance led by the British, I believe. I don't know how to check that. All the socialist states in the world are joining in. While the Chinese have, there it is, the Great Proletarian International. So it's three sides in a war. Imperium Romanum, America, and the socialists. Proletarian International. And then we got China here. So you even got civil wars taking sides in this world war. Palestine has fallen to the Romans, to the Roman alliance. Nobody is guarding Australian People's Republic had just been annexed by the Australians. Australia is not even in a faction with anyone. They're just at war with China. Now Switzerland has gone after Germany has gone after Switzerland. Do they even have troops for that? That's not good. I think Switzerland and Spain together can kick the Germans out of France. But they'd have to fight very hard for this. Now we got the Confederation of Finno-Russian Republics up here in Finland. I don't know, they might not last because the Germans have sent tanks. Everywhere else has gone quite stalemated. The African front's not going very well for Italy. They were routed from Egypt. They've gone massive encirclements here. Same with the Russian troop in the Suez. That's a complete mess of a war, I'll be honest. Oh, whoa. Are you guys seeing this? The Swiss have conquered Frankfurt. They're gonna cut France out of this whole thing. It's not looking very good for the Proletarian International. Let's check their navy real quick. The sizable navy. Give them that. But Japan has completely lost it. I just realized India is at war with all the alliances except for America. They really threw it. Meanwhile, the entire world war is playing out in miniature here in Afghanistan. Let's see, can we reach 1945? The British army has invaded Sicily. And Switzerland has done something really crazy here. Same with Denmark. Denmark, Switzerland. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Germans are surviving this. What? That was weird. Now the real question here is, how will Russia, Italy, and the British and the Americans, how will they divide Europe up amongst each other? It's gonna be really divided. Maybe Denmark takes all of northern Germany. I'll wish them luck if they could defeat Britain. Where? Oh, in Brussels. Sure, man. Lead the European Union to victory. You're at war with like all the world powers here. And you think you could win? Who knows, maybe they can. Starting with Brussels. Poland will fall soon. They're marching towards Warsaw. The nationalist Spanish nationalists are pushing out Portugal and the British. And the Burmese are defeating India. Amerindian People's Republic. Where? It's over. It's over. It's over for Ernst Thälmann. They're gonna hang him. Oh. Yep, the EU stood no chance. They are a bit too much. Burma's conquering all of India, but there's a lot of territories that are rebelling. They just need to capture Karachi and maybe they'll Oh, speak of the devil. There it is. And oh, that's Djibouti. As soon as the Burmese defeat Mughal, I think they could start puppeting. Gotta march in. This is a really crazy Burma though. There you go. You're gonna start puppeting. That's a big India. So it's an India and a Pakistan. Meanwhile in the middle there's a Madhya Pradesh. Sure, peace in South Asia now. Hope the rest of the world can reach that. 1943 is about to end. This has been the bloodiest year of this entire campaign, I think. Warsaw has just fallen. Everyone's just at war with the Germans. Poland has capitulated. It's generally never been more over. Oh, and the Afghans actually got parts of Pakistan, or Baluchistan. How long till the war ends? I guess I'll have to cap Britain. And the Chinese Soviet Republic has surrendered. They lost it when they couldn't conquer Beijing fast enough. Now they're after the Imperial Kwangtung territories. Wait, this is kind of crazy. So apparently Puyi has a strong army. He's capitulated Hebei Jahar. I think Argentina is about to declare war on their neighbors. But I don't know. The Proletarian Alliance seems to be holding out in Turkey and in Africa. Also, the Russians have just turned fascist here. Chiang Kai-shek seems to be very desperate right now. He just blew up the Yellow River because of this invading army. How are you scared of that? How are they winning actually? Is his army just made out of paper? The Italians have just admitted Philippines into their alliance, and now the Roman Empire is at war with America. Their front is in Mexico. Are the Americans ready for this? They should be. But now it's a whole war all across South America, in Africa, in Afghanistan. So, in May 1945, it seems like neither side can really push one another. The world's been sort of in a stalemate since 43. I mean, the British have tried to do a D-Day here. They can't push any further than Le Havre. The Russians and the Japanese are in a standstill. The Japanese did nothing this entire game. They were at war with the Americans since like 38, and they didn't conquer anything. It's kind of pathetic. I mean, it just shows how passive the AI is in this game at the moment. The Italians weren't able to capture Cairo at all, despite this being like a very easy capture. Like, build a port, drive your tanks through. South Africa is still holding out against the communists here. So it's just a stalemate between three world factions: the North American Federation, the Proletarian International, and Novus Imperium Romanum. So I guess that's it for... wait, let's do... there you go. You got the fascist bloc, you got the democratic independent bloc, and the communist bloc. So yeah, that's it for this run of Hearts of Iron 4 Observer Timelapse. I hope you guys found this somewhat entertaining. I don't know how I feel about doing vanilla time lapses, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.